Welcome back again at the 15th Global Week at Chitkara University. We are having with us Professor Cynthia from UPAEP University, Pueblo, from Mexico, or they say Mexico. Welcome to Chitkara University.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us today. And how has been your experience teaching our students, being at the university and being in Punjab?
This has been the most delightful experience, especially with the students. They're so kind, they're so polite, and so interested with the topics. And the university, we're most impressed with all the infrastructure, but also about the hospitality.
So you found something different from your place and India, or was it a little similar?
With regards to the university, this is larger than what we have. With regards to the culture, what's interesting is that we have more similarities than differences.
How did you find our campus?
Impressive. First of all, when we arrived, I believe I was in a city, not necessarily a campus, because you have everything. Even you have restaurants, you have banks, and you have even this parlor in which you can get your haircut. And so that's it.
Beauty lounge.
I have not seen that in a university before.
I believe, we're one of the most innovatively done universities. The kind of setups of offices in containers, in modified buses, reused, because we're very high on sustainability and addressing the UN SDG goals. That's great on your observation. How about student energy?
Polite, but they're happy. I see very happy students. In Mexico, maybe they don't show their happiness that much.
Right.
And they're not as polite in the sense that when you enter the room, everybody stands up. And as a professor, oh my God,
that's a very high level of respect.
Yes,
and it gives you a lot of confidence.
Of course.
And compassion even, to teach them with little different.
And there's also very participative, so I like that too. When they have something to say, they want to express themselves.
Right.
They want to make questions. They want to be part of the activity. So that's something that I really enjoy.
So you enjoyed the engagement with that.
Very much so.
And the participation and the level of interest. How do you see an ethical environment or an ethical world in your thought line? How do you see the world to be more ethical?
Well, we see right now there are a lot of things going on in the world. We see a lot of crises, a lot of problems. So this is really the time in which we need to make a call for dignity in leadership.
Dignity in leadership. That's interesting.
The more leaders are able to dignify others, that's the way forward. In fact, that's the only way forward. We need to dignify others and promote better leaderships for the common good. And therefore, we can start seeing things become better in the world.
How do you do that?
First of all, that part of dignifying leadership is interesting because it's in the simple things and in everyday things.
Like?
For example, if you go by in the street, look at the people, look at them, just make this eye contact. Say hello. For instance, those are the basic things, especially for leaders in the organizations. Don't ignore. That's the essential process, to recognize that the other as a human being too.
Right.
And then you translate that into businesses and say, if you work with somebody, treat them with respect, treat them well, recognize them, reward them, not just monetarily.
So do you think that you also somewhat explored your potential by being here in Chitkara for a week?
Of course, in Chitkara and in India, because I think that every time you travel, you open your perspectives, you're widening this view of the world.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of interesting traits in the students and also in the faculty that are really related to this idea of dignity and the common good. So every time you explore a new culture, you get new insights into how to make the world better. Because here in India, there are a lot of traditions, and I said also the hospitality, the responsibility of the students and the faculty, that makes you rethink what are the essences of leadership that we need to consider. And in the end, while working on the individual, you're also working the organizations, because organizations are nothing like than collectives of people.
Exactly. And if they're all aligned towards the vision, then it becomes a little faster growth. What sectors do you see are the 2 or 3 or 4 prime sectors for the youth of today? Because once they graduate from here.
I believe that if you associate that with sustainable development goals, I think that the businesses that are more important right now are the food industry, food security.
Food security.
How can we manage that? So that, I think, has to do with number one. And I will believe that the second should be sustainable energies.
Right.
Because everything we do needs energy.
You mean like?
Used to be moved to
green energy.
Energy, all sustainable. Green, hydrogen, we talked
about it yesterday. We had an expert. Yes.
So there are a lot of new technologies that we'll see emerge.
So food security,
energy, Water, clean water.
Water. Clean water is a challenge in the world.
Yes.
So you see the students getting involved in these initiatives and taking that as a very promising endeavor.
And I think that this is something that they will need to do.
It's a need.
Yeah, it's not
It's
something
a
that
need. It's not by a trend.
No, this is something they need to do if they want to ensure that the future generations will have whatever they need to survive.
So for that, they not to be only limited to themselves, they got to be thinking way beyond generations.
Yes.
Now you teach strategic alliances,
Yes.
right? And can you just highlight how important it is for students and at what stage? Because I believe alliances happen institution to be, institution to institution.
But also people to people, because in essence, alliances are nothing but relationships.
Yeah,
it's about the networking, essentially. Yes. So you need to build this right from the beginning. I'm sure that the students right now here in Chitkara are building this because they're connecting to industry.
Yes.
They see specialists who come and talk about specific topics. So they're starting to build this. But also, they're building it by being with their peers and other teachers.
Yes.
And the more we encourage them to use these relationships in their favor, the better it is that then they will say, I have a business idea. I'm going to find this peer that was with me, that was working in something
similar. Yes, and they can express it.
Yes. And I'm going to search for this professor who helped me in that topic. So now I'm creating this network, and then maybe the university is going to put us in contact with a specific company that can bring in.
Point. Yeah.
So it's all about relationships.
It's all about relations. So you have a lot of emphasis on networking. I am very happy that you addressed that it starts from Chitkara schools, and that they come into the university. They already have a very strong foundation, and the mental makeup is accordingly, according to that. Okay, networking, relationships, and strategic friendships are important.
Yeah, and right now for Chitkara, with the Sustainable Development Goals, alliances are also of the essence.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's very much important. What do you have to say about the quality of education globally? Because you could say, coming of AI in every industry, how do you see the human intervention and AI intervention as a control?
I think that in terms of education, AI will never take the place of teachers and professors and the part of this network that you need to create in a great university. No, because relationships, you cannot relate in the same way to AI than you would to a person.
Yeah.
This is all about trust.
Exactly.
You don't trust the AI, or at least not fully or not now.
Absolutely.
So every relationship comes down to trust.
Yeah.
And you only trust your peers, your friends, your family.
You mentioned that this is not less than a 5-star.
Yes.
You see such kind of infrastructure in your country?
Certain universities have something similar, but what I've seen here is also the quality of the labs. You have very specialized spaces with very high quality equipment in which students can do a lot of different things, which is more of the real contact with what they will experience once they're on the job.
So you like our labs?
Yes, very much.
Thank you so much. The infrastructure is way too well done.
Yes.
With a lot of thought.
And as I said at the beginning, when I first entered, it was like being in a poor city.
Yes. Have you ever experienced Diwali in your country?
No, never.
So are you going to stay back till Diwali here?
I'm staying until Sunday, but in Delhi.
In Delhi?
Yes. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's it. And Mexico is not a direct flight, right?
No, in fact, to get here, it was 45 hours,
I think that comes to my mind because you're teaching leadership and you create leaders. In your own definition, what exactly is leadership?
It's interesting because for most people, leadership might seem as a position of power, but in reality, it's a relationship that you establish with others. It's that connection.
Right.
Leadership is nothing but the relationship that you establish with who becomes your followers.
So there is no hierarchy.
No.
But it is the relationship you build with others.
In fact, you can be a leader without the title of a leader. So maybe you're just a peer in a group, but people follow you for some reason. And that's because you connect in a certain way with others that they want to follow, because you inspire them to follow.
Yeah, not just push them to follow you. It should come from there within to follow you because of some greatness you carry.
Your value.
Your
behavior, the way you do certain things, how you inspire them, your mission or vision.
Right. Your views.
Yes. Those are the things that people follow. They don't follow somebody in a specific position. They obey that person in a specific position, but they don't follow. And follow comes voluntarily.
That's very, very beautifully I would say, said and curated. Now, what comes in my mind is, what about ethics? That's also your favorite subject.
Oh, yes. And ethics is directly connected to leadership. Why? Because if you want to be a good leader, ethics needs to be of the essence. Because if not, it's very common to see frauds in organizations, wrongdoings, because people lose that sight of ethics.
Right.
And that needs to be who we are.
Yes. So being honest to yourself.
Yes.
Being firm and smart to this world, because you will find
responsibility.
Yes, you have. I think it's about being responsible. That's very well said.
Because others are trusting you.
Yes, it's the trust. It's the others are trusting you. Well, this has been a very, very wonderful walk-a-talk with Professor Cynthia at this amazing setup of Rockefeller House at Chitkara University. And we're going to lit up the diyas with Cynthia. So are you up for it?
Thank you.
Let's go, please. Thank you.
I wish a happy Diwali to all Chitkara students. And thank you very much for your hospitality.